a way of just playing the same thing over and over with no fills. And that's like, and it's just like, okay, well, I guess you didn't need a fill because you had me kind of.
Well, he's a producer mainly now. Well, now that he's stepping in for the Rolling Stones, but before that, he really kind of stepped back and he was producing. So
he was producing a lot.
It's his year. That's why he's got all this. He's got that ear. He's got that feel. He loves it.
Yeah. I have some old articles with him. He talks about being like an ethnomusicologist or having that mindset of where did groove come from? Where did music? What are the roots? And he kind of traces back to Africa, like communal, dancing and drumming and
tribal rituals. Tribal rituals.
Tribal rituals, and even just like simple rhythms that
ceremonies,
bringing people together, and it's like healing for the spirit. I learned some African beats and stuff in college, and with different drum teachers I've had, and that is a huge influence on a lot of things I do. At least once you learn about it, it's like, oh, you start seeing it in a lot of different stuff. Like, something simple like that.
So cool.
At the same time, learning that was like a challenge because of all the coordination involved in it. But once you have it, then you feel it, and you kind of like, it becomes a little part of you, right? So then when you're playing other grooves, maybe you have more of an American, blues shuffle, maybe the halftime shuffle. So with that vibe, that ostinato versus, it's a different vibe, but there's an element that you could bring from something like that and something like that. So think about,
it's like Samba Nova.
you could play that on the kick. You could kind of play it. About partial phrases, not even replicating the whole phrase, but it's taking a piece from one idea and then putting it into another. So if you have mixing and matching kind of. Just like a funky vibe.
I heard some Red Hot Chili Peppers, Chad a little bit in the beginning, just because it's I don't know, it just reminded me of like Breaking the Girl a little bit.
Okay, yeah. But that one, I think what happened as I was playing it, I had a memory. I unlocked a memory. I started thinking about what's his name? Not Anton Fig. This other drummer, Bill Bruford. And he had this weird stuff, I think in like the 80s, that he was starting to get into electronic kits. And he had this hybrid thing going with like, I think, a real kick snare hat and then like electric toms and like real cymbals maybe, and a bunch of weird
hybrid stuff.
And he was doing like these funky grooves like that, but then he was also incorporating congas and African rhythms and stuff, and then just weird out there solo stuff with lots of noise. And then I was like, this happens sometimes. And once I get going, I just feed off like a memory. I'm like, oh, I'll just do the thing in time, you know, or I might hit a little roofer right now for
It's not Breaking the Girl. It's Mellowship and D and Funky Monks, kind of like that. But you know that album.
Okay, I'd have to hear it.
Do you know that album?
It's not really.